I lost my arm in less than 5 seconds. 5 seconds between breathing and not knowing who I was anymore. 5 seconds between being whole and becoming someone else. Most people think the worst part of war is the moment you get wounded. The explosion, the blood, the chaos. They are wrong. The worst part comes later, when the noise is gone and you have to learn how to live again. My name does not matter. I am one of thousands, a Ukrainian soldier, a son, a husband, a father. Years have passed since that day. I wake up before sunrise now, not because I have to, but because sleep is still fragile. I sit at the edge of my bed and listen to the quiet, real quiet. No artillery, no drones, no distant thunder that isn't thunder. Sometimes I still reach for something with my left arm, and it isn't there. You would think that after all this time I would be used to it. You never really get used to losing a part of yourself. When the war began, I was not a soldier. I was an ordinary man. I worked with my hands. I fixed things, built things, carried my daughter on my shoulders, hugged my wife with both arms. I remember the morning I left home. The sky was painfully blue, the kind of blue that feels almost cruel when you know the world is breaking somewhere else. My wife did not cry in front of me. She held my face in both hands and said, "Come back. Not be a hero, not be brave, just come back." Right? At the training ground, we were all pretending we were not afraid, pretending we understood what was coming. The first time I heard artillery close enough to feel in my chest, I understood something. War is not loud at first. It is tense, like the air before a storm. Then the storm arrives. The day I lost my arm began like many others. Cold morning, mud everywhere, the smell of fuel mixed with wet earth. We had not slept properly in days. I remember thinking about coffee, not strategy, not fear, coffee. Then the sound came, a whistle that did not belong in nature. If you have heard it, you never forget it. There is a moment when your body understands danger before your mind does. My heart dropped. Someone shouted, and then the world turned white. People describe explosions as loud. For me, it was silent. There was pressure, a violent force. The ground disappeared. My helmet hit something hard. I could taste metal. When sound returned, it was distorted. Like being underwater, I tried to push myself up. My right arm responded, comma. My left did not. I looked down, and for a second, my brain refused to understand what my eyes were seeing. There was blood, torn fabric, smoke, but the arm was gone, completely gone. The strange thing is, I did not feel pain immediately. I felt confusion. I remember thinking, almost calmly, this cannot be happening. Then pain arrived, not sharp at first, deep, crushing, like my entire body was collapsing inward. Hands grabbed me. Someone was shouting my name. A tourniquet tightened so hard I thought my bones would crack. I wanted to stay awake. I do not know why. Maybe I was afraid that if I closed my eyes, I would not open them again. In the evacuation vehicle, I stared at the ceiling and thought about my daughter. How do you hug your child with one arm? That was the thought. Not about dying, about hugging. When I woke up in the hospital, everything was white. White ceiling, white walls, white sheets, and an emptiness on my left side that felt louder than any explosion. I moved my shoulder instinctively. There was weight. but no arm. I stared at the blanket for a long time before pulling it back. It is strange how the human mind tries to negotiate with reality. Maybe they save part of it. Maybe it is temporary. Maybe I am still dreaming. But there are moments in life when truth stands in front of you and does not move. I did not cry that day. I cried later, when the nurse asked if I wanted help drinking water, when I realized I could not button my own shirt, when I saw my wife walk into the room trying to smile, trying to be strong. She hugged me carefully, like I was made of glass. That hurt more than the wound. Surviving feels like victory from the outside. From the inside, it feels complicated. Some of my brothers did not make it home at all. I asked myself why I did. Why me? Why not someone who still had both arms, both legs, a future untouched? There is no answer, only silence. Phantom pain is a cruel joke. My hand still itches sometimes. Fingers that are no longer there feel cold. At night, I sometimes feel my missing hand clench into a fist. The body remembers what the world took. Rehabilitation was harder than the battlefield in some ways. On the battlefield, your purpose is simple. Survive and protect the man next to you. At home, purpose becomes blurry. I had to learn how to tie my shoes again, how to cook, how to open a door while carrying groceries. Small things become mountains. Pride becomes heavy. Accepting help feels like defeat. But slowly something changed. Not my body, my understanding. I am not my arm. I am not the explosion. I am not the worst day of my life. I am the man who stood up after it. The first time I held my daughter again, she wrapped her arms around my neck and did not hesitate. Children do not measure love in limbs. She said, "You're still strong, Papa." And in that moment, I believed her. Strength is not about what you carry into war. It is about what you carry out of it. I still miss my arm. I miss simple things, driving without thinking, working with both hands, sleeping without memories. But I am here, breathing, living, watching sunrises that once felt impossible. If you are listening to this, maybe you have lost something too. Maybe not an arm, maybe time, maybe innocence, maybe someone you loved. Loss changes you. It leaves a space that never fully closes. But that space does not have to be empty. You can fill it with meaning, with memory, with love. I did not choose to lose my arm, but I choose every single day to keep living. War took part of my body. It did not take my voice. It did not take my heart. And it did not take my future. 5 seconds changed my life forever, but they did not end it. And if you are still breathing, your story is not over either.